But I'm just gonna do a real quick start off and say good morning. I'm excited that we're all here for another coffee conversation to talk with Dianne Riley about casting for recovery. My name is Christina. I'm the volunteer coordinator here with Forge Survivorship Center. And we've been doing coffee conversations throughout the pandemic to highlight different experiences, conversations around breast cancer and survivorship. And so now I'm gonna turn us over to Dianne and ask her just to introduce herself, share a little bit about her breast cancer story, and if she's willing, her relationship with Forge.
Oh, cool. Yes, I'd be happy to. Good morning. I'm Dianne Riley. I found a Forge brochure at my radiation oncologist at Brookwood in 2017, and it was like just a lifeline for me, because I think at that point I was still at the crying stage, as Janet may well remember. And so, became a volunteer, just love it, met amazing women. I can't say enough good things about everything that I have been a part of at Forge. And with that, with my mentor, she introduced me to some communities in the Birmingham area. And a friend of mine told me about a fly casting retreat that she went to, and she says, you have to go. And I had never heard of it. And so Casting for Recovery started in 2016. And their first one was in Louisiana. And then in 17, 18, and 19, they've all been in Alabama. And I went in 18, absolutely loved it. I started out as an alternate, which was fine. I got all my paperwork in, and that was cool, And then when I got selected, it was like, oh, I was just so excited. And it was just something that I needed. It's something where I knew nothing about fishing. However, I knew about my breast cancer experience. And so I got to be with other like-minded women, got to learn something new, got to be outside, and just had a wonderful time, enough that I thought, well, how can I volunteer? The lady from corporate had been running it. She's amazing, but she's like, it'd be nice to have somebody local to do this. Now, the Southeast includes Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana, because we're clumped together, because we're really just getting started, kind of thing. But it's just really exciting to have this opportunity for women to share and get together, be outdoors, and it's all free. That's even best, yeah, we're a nonprofit, and it's just a, I can't say enough good things about it.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Dianne. And I know that you mentioned that, someone introduced you to Casting for Recovery. It sounds like only a couple of years after it really got started. But tell us a little bit about then what the application process was like. And you mentioned that you were an alternate and then you got selected. So can you walk us through that process about how someone applies and then how they actually get selected and then what's required of them to show up?
Oh, sure, absolutely. I know that you're going to show the link. You can always call me, you can always email me. There's a link with our brochure, because we're having a retreat in the fall. And what you do is you just click on it, fill out the application. It's not hard, your breast cancer survivor. It doesn't matter if it was yesterday or 20 years ago. And you fill it out. You do have to have your doctor's permission, because he needs to say, yeah, she's well enough to do this. But once you get that, it all goes through corporate, and they drive everything. Although we're local, there's an algorithm. They get, I don't know, 50 applications, and then they will say you're selected, this group, and then you're an alternate, and then you'll come next year, kind of thing. And so the team then starts contacting people and getting our participants lined up. It becomes very local for us to plug in our participants then. Does that help?
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me, how many people were there when you were at your first retreat?
Usually the model is that there are 14 participants, okay? And then with the team, there's about that many there too, because we have a medical person, we have a psychologist, we certainly have fly fishermen, we have hospitality. We just have, activities structured And there's also downtime, you know, like if you don't want to do it. I mean, I was not the world's best fisherman, but I could talk and eat marshmallows, okay? You know, so it worked out really well for me. It was well organized, but not imposing kind of thing. It was really positive for me.
Sounds like it strikes just a really incredible balance of community and activity.
Right.
And you know, I can't speak for it, but I don't know a ton of pro fly fishers. So it feels like a lot of people there may have a little bit of experience, but you're all learning something together.
You know, I don't think anybody really, you know, participants don't really, I don't think there are people that know, okay, which is fun because they teach, you know, you get there Friday night, you have this nice dinner, you meet everybody. And then on Saturday, the team will teach you along with other classes like how to fly fish. And then on Sunday morning, you get matched with a river helper. And this is a true guide that will one-on-one with you, will take you out in the water. You can stand on the bank or you can wade. I'm not much of a wader. I'm not real steady, but you can fish with them. I think I caught a fish the size of my thumb and you would have thought it was 3 feet long. And then we do catch and release. There's no mess, no fuss, lots of excitement, just lots of beauty with trees, not too many trees, but lots of water, lots of outdoors, and incredible laughter and sharing.
And now, so the retreat is for the weekend, the Friday and Saturday.
Right. You come on Friday and then you leave Sunday after lunch. Yep.
And where, you know, I know you mentioned it's been held in Alabama. Where is this in Alabama? And will future retreats, do you think they'll be local or will they ever go back to Louisiana?
No, not as long as I'm the coordinator. This year, we're going to be in Nauvoo. It's the Camp McDowell up north by Jasper. Really nice place, very rustic, very conducive to the camping experience, but comfortable. Mm-hmm. And then also fishing. Our goal is, once we get really established, you know, we will stay in Alabama. But there's a woman who actually was a participant when I went, and she volunteered as well. And she's got this wonderful business of tying flies. She wants to lead a group in Mississippi when we grow to that point. And then there's somebody in the wings that wants to do it in Louisiana. But right now we're building the Southeast, and we've been fortunate to have someone from every state, you know, from the 3 states each time. And that's just really special to have that group.
Yeah, absolutely. That is really, really special. Can you, you know, I know that you mentioned that you caught a fish and it was really exciting, but can you share 1 or 2 other memories that really stand out to you in your casting for recovery experience, whether it was your first retreat or through volunteering in your position now?
Well, for my retreat, I love the getting together, you know, after all the classes and stuff were done, you would just sort of hang out and do marshmallows and just chat and carry on and just have very relaxed time. And it's interesting, you know, out of 14 women, it seems that there's always somebody that's never done s'mores. And isn't it exciting to be a part of that experience for somebody? I mean, that's really fun. Or somebody that's never caught a fish or never been fishing, you know, kind of thing. So that was really special. That was probably my favorite time to do that. In terms of last year, we were in Loxley, and I was more behind the scenes, but you get so much out of it by volunteering because you get to see the women experience what you did. And it's just beautiful because it's a new world and they get away from cancer for a while, you know, and they just get to they get to blossom, I think. You just watch them really come alive with the outdoors and with the experience. And that is the best part. And I'm sure that my team feels that way as well. I think you get more out of it volunteering, but it's amazing to be a participant. Amazing.
Absolutely. Now, is there a community, you know, I know for volunteers, there seems to be one, but is there a community for folks who have done it once and then they keep in touch with folks? Is there like a Facebook group that people?
Oh, yeah, we do alum. We have a Facebook page. And we have a very active alum group. We're not to the stage yet that we're ready to do a reunion, but absolutely, because from them, we get volunteers, okay? And then if I get a call from somebody in Louisiana that just has a general question, I can connect and I have done this, I have connected that person with people in Louisiana that says, you know, this is how we do it here kind of thing. Absolutely a very active alumni community. Yeah.
That's just incredible to hear that you get to go through this really unique experience together. And also, it's so brave and courageous to do something new like that with strangers in the outdoors, right, with a cancer diagnosis. So you get to have these brave experiences with each other and then keep in touch. That's so special. Now, I know that you mentioned you mentioned your role as being in Alabama. You helped do some of the coordinating things, but what is your title, and what can you expand on what all that entails?
I am a volunteer. I am the Southeast Regional Coordinator, which is Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. And I basically I'm somebody called me the glue. I pull it all together, you know, with the team. I manage the Zoom calls and get the venue with the team effort. We're a 501 nonprofit. And so we as a group do some fundraising. I talk very often with our advisor and support person from National. She's amazing. And she'll say, well, you know, I recommend this or I recommend that, or you guys are right on target, that kind of thing. You know, and then in terms of like this week, I'm going to go, someone made a donation of fly fishing equipment. And so I'm going to go and pick that up, you know, so we can auction it off and raise some funds for us. So I'm kind of that contact person for anything related to the Southeast that will benefit our community.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that is just such a huge role to take on as a volunteer, and your title is very fancy.
Yeah, it pays well.
Which means it entails a lot. And I'm just so grateful you're doing this work and connecting folks and then in just such an incredible way. Man, I can never imagine going. Like, that's just, I had to, like, when you told me about it at first, I had to go look up fly fishing. I was like, I know what it is, but I don't know what it is.
Everybody thinks if a river runs through it, trust me, I will never look like that. Okay. But it doesn't matter. You know, you still have a lot of fun and you're still on the water and you're still having a good time. And I haven't caught a fish, but my goal is to catch a fish. Okay. But I just enjoy the outdoors and the camaraderie. We've had a little reunion and I had the opportunity, Janet will know this, my radiation oncologist came along and she's a fly fisherman and she came along. And so there's just, you know, it opens up so many doors because no, you don't know a lot of fly fishermen or women, but once you get into that community, you know, word of mouth gets out and then we have the opportunity to share about us. Yeah, which is cool.
It's just so special. That's so much fun. And I do appreciate also, I think the outdoors is healing in a really special way.
Right.
So I want to ask if you have kind of any other final thoughts or things you'd like to share. And then I was going to show the video from the Casting for Recovery website for everyone.
I think the biggest thing for me is that, you know, people think, oh, it's just the current stuff. But I personally want to encourage women that are even 10 plus years, you know, you never forget that date that you get that call or you're told. And the thing is, I want women to come so I can say, oh, I want to be like her in 10 years or something. Because I think you have something to offer to the women. My personal goal, being an Alabama native, is that I want for 75% of our participants to be women of color. Because I think that's our population and I think they're underserved in healthcare. And that's just real important to me. And I think we have the opportunity to do that as an organization. And that's something that National is very supportive of. We get great support nationally and locally and alumni and with Forge as well, you know, to be able to share. Now, not a lot of people know about it because, you know, there are not a lot of fly fishermen. However, things like this will get the word out and we'll be able to reach more women and get them to apply.
Absolutely.
I'll just add, once again, as we started, it's free, you know, a wonderful weekend.
And that's just incredible. It's an accessible resource, or an accessible weekend away with other women. And that's just so needed. And I'm so grateful about your emphasis on working with communities of color. And you know, I think that I'm hopeful that Forge can continue to support and send people your way too. So now, if it's all right with you, I'm going to share that the video from Casting for Recovery, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to remind everyone, I'm going to put all this information on the video that we're sharing too. So folks, if they're interested in signing up, they can, or if they know someone who they want to sign up, they can, but we'll link everyone to the website as well. All right, and let's do a share screen. This is always really exciting.
Therapeutic for me. Being outside is very therapeutic for me. It helps with everything for me. I try to escape as often as possible if it's nothing but a park. It's sometimes you need that. You need to just break away. You need to break away and experience the calm.
I heard about the Casting for Recovery retreat after I had breast cancer. Some friends had told me a little bit about it, though they had never gone. They had told me it was a good thing, and I just wanted to try it to do something outside of my comfort zone.
I didn't know what being open to a support group was. I was kind of like, you know, like most moms, you go through it and you just kind of keep going.
Yeah, you go through it.
You don't know, you just keep going through it. You don't want to stop. Cancer has taught me to slow down and to appreciate life and to enjoy life and to be considerate of my day.
Finding some other people that have been through a similar situation is definitely something I'm very hopeful for out of Casting for Recovery in the upcoming retreat. Because I think everybody who's been through breast cancer, though everybody's story is different, it provides a common bond. It is something that you can't explain to somebody what it is like unless you've gone through it yourself.
A lot of us, we already know what we've gone through or been through, and we just want to have fun and have, do fun things. Fly fishing is different. That's different. I'm looking forward to a new experience. That is the topmost thing. But then the me time for me to just leave everything, the worries, the cares behind, treatment plans behind, and just relax.
I'm hoping for that bonding experience, especially when you're going away, you're in nature, you're outside. You hopefully disconnect from everything. At least that's what I plan to do.
A lot of times we're not okay with just, focusing on ourselves. So that will be a time where I can think about Regina and Regina only and be okay.
We all have that common bond of breast cancer and surviving it and knowing what that feels like. And that's a bond that I don't think can be broken. Going on a Casting for Recovery retreat will help me open up to a support group that I would need. I'm a 2-year breast cancer survivor, and I'm so disappointed that my Casting for Recovery retreat was canceled. But looking forward to it being rescheduled in 2021 and can't wait to attend.
Wonderful.
Yes, thank you for everyone.
I will say, I had a question last week from my oncologist for my 6-month checkup, and he goes, "You can catch trout in Alabama?" Absolutely you can. You need to take up fly fishing. There are fish in Alabama to be caught. So you don't have to go to Montana to do this. I just want you to know we've got plenty of fish here.
That is a good word. Well, Dianne, I mean, it's so moving. It's so exciting. I'm so sad that the retreat was canceled this year, as we're sad about so many things being canceled, but I'm excited that there's something to look forward to, particularly for those who volunteer and who had signed up and had it, just not happen due to COVID. And I'm excited to continue to share this experience and opportunity with women who are experiencing breast cancer at any stage. Because I think you're right, the points being of someone who's even 10, 20 years out, you have so much to give, so much to point towards for women who are working through a more recent diagnosis. So like I said, we're going to share all of this on the YouTube page and everything, so people know how to get in touch. And if anyone asks us, I'll point them to you.
I'm open. I'm looking forward to talking with people about Casting for Recovery. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely.